Doug Smith, our manager at the time, was also Motorhead's manager. It was Lemmy that actually asked Doug to manage us, I think.
Wow.
And I think it was also Lemmy who got us the record deal with Bronze Records. I think he asked Doug Smith to sort that out for us as well, especially when Lemmy came to our rehearsal to see if we could actually play. And he saw that we could, because he heard our very first single that we had out called Take It All Away on City Records. And Lemmy heard it and he really liked it, you know, and I think he wanted to come and meet us and to see if we could play, if that was really us playing, that sort of thing, you know what I mean? Anyway, he came with Doug Smith at the time, if I remember rightly, and we all got on really well, but it was weird when we met Lemmy for the first time. We was kind of scared because of the way he looked and, you know. And then when we saw a picture of the whole band together, Eddie and Phil as well, we were like, oh my God, we're going on tour with these guys. We didn't know what to expect, you know.
Drop on the song.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Drum for the Song podcast. I am your host, Dane Campbell. Today's guest is the fantastic Denise Dufort from Girlschool. How's it going?
Hello. Yeah, going good. Thanks, apart from the storm, but cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, we're recording this on the day of the dreaded storm. What is it? Eunice? Storm
Eunice. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've just been discussing the damage done to our properties, but luckily I'm doing okay so far. Denise is down a fence.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the rest of the day holds. But yeah, thanks for joining us, and thanks for joining me on this awkward day today.
Thanks for having me. You know,
absolutely. I wish I had you a lot earlier, to be honest. Yeah, we've been talking about asking you for a while. It's just like it's only so many I can do at a time, and
yeah, sure, yeah, I get it.
But no, it's been good, and now is a good downtime because not many bands are currently touring and stuff like that. So it's a great time to catch up on stuff like this. But yeah, apart from the storm, you're doing well. When was the last thing you did with a band?
The last thing I did with the band was a couple of weeks ago when we played with Saxon.
Exactly, and
yeah.
I was gutted I didn't go to that because.
It was great.
I bet it was amazing. Yeah. So it
was
Saxon, Uriah Heep, Diamond Head, and Girlschool, right?
Yeah, fantastic. And the crowd was incredible on both those dates. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
No, and great to be back on the road. Great to be back with the boys. I'm sure you know the Saxon boys well from touring with them in the past and from a long time ago.
Yeah, well, we know them as long as we've known Motorhead, you know, so it's really weird.
Yeah, fair play. Because for anyone, right? I'm sure lots of people who listen to this know who Girlschool are, but for anyone who doesn't, I believe you formed in the late 70s.
1978, I joined, and then we changed the name to Girlschool.
Ah, there you go. So you've been going over 40 years. All female rock band, heavy metal band, whatever you want to call it.
Rock band,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have thought, I don't know if you must be one of the very first, if not the very first of your kind, as in all female.
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean? But like back in like I wasn't born then, so I don't know. But from my knowledge, a lot of the bands, we're around, well-known bands were either all male or mostly male, if there was the odd female member. So it must have been certainly, interesting for you to kind of have that.
Well, it was, because back in 78, I was in a couple of other bands, but with guys. So I was in a punk band and some other rock band with 3 guys. Then I met Kim. It's a long story, but I met Kim through another audition, And then they got in touch with me as a girl band and asked me if I wanted to do some drumming with them. And I said, yeah. And I thought, great.
Yeah.
And the only other band around at that time was the Runaways, and they were from America.
Ah, right, okay.
They were around, and then we formed, and we were together, touring constantly around Europe and all over the place, America, here, there, and everywhere for a few years, a couple of years actually. And there was still no other girl bands, no British bands or American bands, and we just couldn't understand it. We thought, well, why isn't there more female musicians? But for some reason there wasn't. I don't know why.
Bizarre. I guess you must have influenced countless bands after that, I would have thought. And nowadays there's so many bands that I see now cropping up, all female.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere now, and some of them are so good. I mean, they're amazing. Have you seen that Japanese band? What they call something made, or made something?
Oh,
they're incredible.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely brilliant. They're called Something Made, and I absolutely love them.
I'll check those out. Yeah, but there's loads of bands. So you must be a great pioneer. So let's go back to the start. You being a drummer, I saw somewhere else that your brother was a drummer too. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, my brother Dave Dufort, but he changed his name. His stage name is Hermione.
Ah, right. Okay.
That's cool. That's the name he uses now, but because he writes horror music. But he's older than me, so I grew up watching him play the drums at home in my parents' living room, drumming with his different bands he was in, and that's how I taught myself. Basically, he showed me a few things. I taught myself the rest. When I was about 9, I couldn't even reach the pedals,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all because of my brother. I blame him for everything. And he played with Angel Witch, and he's been in a lot of bands himself. So yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Right. So
yeah.
Apart from you, is that the main reason why you wanted to play drums then? You just directly
influenced? Yeah, I just always, since the age of 9 years old, I only wanted to be a drummer.
Amazing.
That's all I wanted to do. From watching my brother play, I thought that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I did it.
It's fantastic, and you're still doing it now all these years later. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's very inspiring. I guess I have a similar way. I guess the way I started playing drums was similar. Obviously, my dad played guitar in the band, but he used to be a drummer, and he taught me the basics, and I went from there.
Right.
And kind of just figured it all out myself afterwards. But around a similar age, 6, 7, 8.
Phil used to be a drummer.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. So okay, it's cool.
Yeah, I think he used to be. He calls it cabaret. He used to play drums in cabaret bands. He said, and,
right?
Yeah, all around South Wales in all the pubs and clubs. And then, I believe he could play guitar as well. And then at some point, he just that became his main thing.
Right.
He's pretty good at it. So.
Well, he's a bloody good guitarist, so
yeah, exactly. But yeah,
yeah.
He taught me the basics, and we went from there. And we
brilliant.
Yeah, it was good. Similar story. But apart from your brother, did you have any other influences from drummers that were in bands at the time, or bands you liked?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I absolutely loved Ian Pace from Deep Purple.
Yeah.
John Heisman, Colosseum. He was fantastic. God, so many. Cozy Powell.
Yeah.
Even jazz drummers like Buddy Rich, and all the old style drummers from back in the day in 40s, 50s, 30s even. They were some of the fantastic drummers, and I grew up listening to all that kind of stuff because my dad was into all that.
Ah, there you go. Great.
And my dad loved Glenn Miller, and he got me into the Glenn Miller band orchestra, and I just loved listening to all that sort of stuff, and the drumming on some of those songs are incredible,
Yeah, there you go. Fantastic.
But rock drumming, I was just into. I really, really did love Ian Pace and Cozy Powell.
Yeah, I can totally hear that in listening to you play as well. And
good. I'm pleased.
Bringing in some of the double kick and stuff like that as well. I imagine.
Yeah.
Would you say we'll talk about Motorhead in a minute. Obviously, you had a bit of a partnership going on, collaboration with them, which we'll talk about. But would you say that like Philthy was kind of an inspiration to you after that in the style that you
Definitely.
play?
Yes, definitely. I remember the first time I saw him play live. I couldn't believe how fast he was on his pedals as well. And the way he used to sit quite low down, and because he wasn't a big guy, he used to sit low down on the stool. And I used to think, how does he play like that, you know?
Yeah.
I just used to watch Motorhead play every night on stage just so I could watch him play. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah,
absolutely.
loved him.
Totally unique. And yeah, I don't understand how we could play that low.
Yeah, I know. I tried it. I sat behind his kit and I tried playing that kit with that stool nearly down on the floor, you know, and I thought, I can't do it. How does he do it, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, I guess, so yeah, how did that start then, the little partnership with Motorhead? Did you already know the guys, or had you already met Lemmy, or was it just something that like producer came up with or something like that I read?
Do you know what? I really can't remember the whole story. Kim does. Kim remembers it all. But what I kind of remember is Doug Smith, our manager at the time, was also Motorhead's manager. It was Lemmy that actually asked Doug to manage us, I think.
Wow.
And I think it was also Lemmy who got us the record deal with Bronze Records. I think he asked Doug Smith to sort that out for us as well, especially when Lemmy came to our rehearsal to see if we could actually play. And he saw that we could, because he heard our very first single that we had out called Take It All Away on City Records. And Lemmy heard it and he really liked it, you know, and I think he wanted to come and meet us and to see if we could play, if that was really us playing, that sort of thing, you know what I mean? Anyway, he came with Doug Smith at the time, if I remember rightly, and we all got on really well, but it was weird when we met Lemmy for the first time. We was kind of scared because of the way he looked and, you know. And then when we saw a picture of the whole band together, Eddie and Phil as well, we were like, oh my God, we're going on tour with these guys. We didn't know what to expect, you know.
Yeah. I bet it was pretty wild.
It was, but it turned out that they were all such lovely men, you know, lovely guys. We loved them all from the minute we met them, really, you know. Yeah.
That's so great. And then then you ended up doing the St. Valentine's Day Massacre EP, which is
exactly.
It was St. Valentine's Day the other day.
Oh yeah.
But that's quite a unique situation. That so you covered each other's song.
Yeah.
But
that was Vic Mayall's idea. That was.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, he was the one who suggested it. Yeah.
It's such a cool idea, but it was really well because it did really well because he got the number 5 in the charts. I read it. Wow, that's incredible.
I know. We all got silver discs for that and everything. No, what did we get? We got gold. No, hang on. Do you know what? I really can't remember what we got.
You've got some disc.
We got something. Yeah.
That's so cool. But yeah, for anyone who wants to check that out. I believe because Philthy was injured or something, so you ended up playing drums on all the tracks.
Yes, that's right. He broke it. He broke his neck. He was larking around with a roadie. Philthy was, and apparently he fell off his shoulders or something and broke his neck. And so I had to do all the songs, and I was really worried, really nervous, really shy as well because I was young.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if I could do it. And I was freaking out because I had to play with Lemmy and Eddie in the studio. But I ended up doing it and they were really happy with it. I was really pleased and proud of myself for doing it, you know. And Philthy said it was great as well. So I was really pleased, you know.
Yeah, you smashed it.
Smashed it. And that's why he just couldn't do it because he was wearing a collar in the end, you know, because he broke his neck. Right. I mean, he could have killed him, or paralyzed him permanently, but luckily he was all right after that.
Crazy. So how old were you then at that point? Do you remember?
What year was that?
1980.
Oh, right. That would have made me 23.
Yeah, or 80,
I was
81 it could have been by the time it was released, maybe. I don't know.
right. Well, I was 23 or 24 when we did
Wow,
that album.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, check that out, everyone. It's a really cool EP, and I imagine the physical copy is quite collectible for anyone who's got it. I don't have one.
I do.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, so yeah, you went out as head girl, so I think that's a really cool
Head
thing as
girl.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't you? I mean, I'm surprised Phil hasn't told your dad anything really.
Oh, well, I told him I was chatting to you and all that, but I just, he did say, he did mention, oh yeah, I think she played on this actually, so
Right.
I would have found that out anyway myself. But no, cool. Talking about let's go back a little bit. The Girls' School, the name of the band, where did that come from?
The name of the band came from the B-side of a Paul McCartney single,
Nice.
which was Mull of Kintyre. So the B-side was called Girls' School, but it was 2 words.
Ah.
And we tried all kinds of names at the time when I joined, and none of us could come up with anything. And the manager that we had at the time, I think it was his idea. And we thought, oh yeah, that's a good name. And then we did different ways of writing it, and then we took out one S, made it into 1 word, and it seemed to stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great name. Obviously, it looks really cool. And
Thanks.
yeah,
It does. It looks good. It took a few years to get it right, though, the way we wanted it to look.
Yeah, well, things take time, don't they?
But,
yeah. Fantastic. So, you've got some upcoming tours. Obviously, that will hopefully go ahead if the world remains relatively normal.
No, pandemics and storms and God knows what else, and a pending war in Russia and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy times now.
Because we were supposed to be going to Russia this year.
Oh wow!
I don't know if that's going to happen.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's all the Ukraine, and that's where if there's going to be any conflict, it's going to be there. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about going right now. But yeah,
I don't want to go if there's going to be a war.
No, definitely. Yeah. You might be able to write a good song about it. But right,
yeah.
So that you've got some touring coming up with Alcatraz, the band. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Have you played with those guys before?
Yeah. Before Christmas, we did a co-headline tour around the UK, and then it got cut short the last 2 shows because I ended up getting COVID.
No.
So we ended up not doing the last 2 gigs on that tour, and we were all gutted. I was gutted. Everybody was. But it's been rescheduled now, the London show for next February.
Yeah.
And, and hopefully everything will be fine,
By then, I really hope so. Otherwise,
yeah, God, yeah.
I'm going to have to find something else to do.
Me too.
Yeah. But, and then you've got from some European dates this year, by the look of it, what I found out, Switzerland, Germany, Netherlands, France, Spain, Portugal, and Austria, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, dates keep changing all the time, so I've got no idea when, where, whatever, because things keep changing.
Yeah.
But we are supposed to be doing these gigs and playing with Status Quo in Bilbao in June.
Wow.
So hopefully if that comes off,
that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess just for anyone listening, just follow you on social media and keep up to date with anything new, because things are changing. Things get rescheduled. We keep getting emails about festivals being rescheduled for the 3rd time, and it's not looking incredibly great. But the UK is doing all right. I think shows are happening here.
Yeah, I mean, we did those 2 shows with Saxon, and that was incredible. And to see the audience, the way they reacted, they were so happy to be at a gig. And all the bands that played that gig, us and Uriah Heep and Saxon, you could tell that we were all so happy to be on stage playing. It was weird, but it was weird. I must admit, weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and so like an indoor venue of that size, I haven't actually been to one since the pandemic. I've done outdoor festivals and stuff, but
Yeah.
just being indoor seems a bit strange with that many people there. Because you
It
did
was.
Hammersmith and places like that. So there's a few thousand people there, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Hammersmith and the other one in Manchester. So, I mean, there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
And to see that many people at both those venues after 2 years,
Yeah.
not gigging or seeing anybody, you know, it was really bizarre.
So what about you as a drummer then? Was it after not playing for that long?
Mm.
Was there did it shock you a little bit, like the physical aspect of playing a set after
It
having
did
so much time off?
it did a bit, but actually I was surprised how well I got on doing it.
Good.
I thought I'd probably pass out on stage or something, but no, I felt all right when I finished playing, and even on the Alcatraz tour that we did,
Yeah.
Before Christmas, playing clubs and that, we had to play for at least an hour set.
Yes.
And I thought I was going to pass out, but no, I played all right, and I was really surprised.
Brilliant.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not all just about like your cardio. It's and the breathing and stuff. A lot of it is muscle memory as well. So I think
Exactly.
certain things, because I was a little bit worried about it when we had the time off, but yeah, I didn't seem to struggle at all. And there's only so much you can do in a practice room. It's not the same level.
Not the same.
You don't go for
And
it.
I mean, I've got a practice kit, you know, one of those electronic pad things, and I hate it.
Yeah.
It's just you can't really let go when you're drumming, and you know, because I'm quite a heavy, hard hitter, and I can't do that with these pads. And I've seen you play, so I know how you play as well. There's no way we can play the same as we do on a proper kit, you know.
Nah, they obviously the fact that they exist is great, and in certain circumstances, that's the only option. And for like volume wise, I think they're an important thing for any drummer to own if they have to. I've got one in my shed outside because I can't really play full volume at home either. But yeah, they are limited. I've got quite a nice one, but just you can go so loud and then you hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then you can't, no matter how hard you hit, it doesn't get any louder or the sound doesn't band anymore.
Yeah, it's just not the same. I like to play on a real drum kit and bash the skins until they split. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Have you broken many skins out of interest then over the years?
Yeah, funny enough, over the years, especially in the 80s and 90s when we were touring a lot, I always used to go through bass drum skins, snare skins.
Wow.
And have you heard of Bobby Rondinelli?
I know the name, but I don't know who it is.
Well, he was he used to be the drummer with Richie Blackmore's Rainbow.
Oh wow!
And years ago, when we toured with Blackmore's Rainbow, a long time ago it was. He was a fantastic drummer, Bobby Rondinelli. Anyway, he asked me to have a go on his kit, so I went and had a go on his kit. So he wanted to listen to it. Anyway, all I did was hit it once, and the whole skin split on the snare.
What?
And I just racked it. He said hit it really hard, so I did, and it just split all the way across, and I was so embarrassed. I said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, but that probably wasn't me. It was probably him that wore it down or something. I don't know, but it couldn't have been me. I don't know if it was me or not."
I don't know. I wonder whether they've got stronger over the years, compared since the 80s.
Maybe. I haven't
materials and technologies and stuff.
Yeah, possibly, because I haven't split. I can't even remember the last time I split skin.
Nah, I don't do it very often. Like the bottom snare head split on tour once.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me too a few times.
Yeah, but sometimes that can be. It's not. Yeah. I don't know. Otherwise, I've been really good recently. I obviously don't hit them hard enough.
I don't know. Well, I think maybe they've started making them thicker or something, skins, and stronger or something. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, while we're on the subject, then, what kind of gear are you using at the moment? What's your go-to kit?
Well, my favourite kit is pearl. I've always loved playing pearl drums because that's what I always had. And but because we when we do gigs, I never use my own kit anymore. I haven't in years and years.
Oh, right, okay.
So Giles or whoever, whatever manager we have at the time, they always get me kits to use at gigs and tours.
Ah, fair enough.
But I do try and get Pearl if I can.
Yeah.
But lately I've been using all different makes, and it's good to try different makes out, you know.
Yeah.
But personally, my favourite of all time is Pearl drums.
Nice. Is that the same with like your cymbals and your snare as well? Then you don't show up with anything of your own, or?
No, I don't take anything with me anymore, apart from my pedals, my double pedals. But sometimes I don't even have to take those. I just say what I want.
Nice.
And then I get them usually, hopefully, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, years ago, back in the day, it was great. I used to, when we were all travelling around in a van or on a big tour, take my own drums in flight cases. Yeah. Don't need to do that anymore, you know.
Yeah. Oh, well, certainly when we do fly out gigs for festivals, I don't take I take pedals.
Yeah.
Because I think they're like the one thing that even if you ask for the same set, I find to get them feeling like your own pedals with those settings is difficult. The tensions, there's so many variable things you can alter on them. So I feel a bit weird without my own. But yeah, we request.
I mean, even with cymbals, my favourite cymbals of all time has always been Pace.
Yeah,
I love Pace, any kind of Pace cymbals, but I always try and get Pace if I can.
Yeah,
you know, 2002 hi-hats are my favourites as well. And
nice.
But
that's what I use.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
oh, good, cool, yeah. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. I just love Pace. I like Zildjian as well, but I prefer Pace.
Yeah.
You know, all Pace and 22-inch China and, you know,
that's
and
proper,
all that
proper
sort
sizes.
Yeah, proper 17, 18-inch and 20-inch ride or something, you know.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. You can always request what your preferences are, but depending on who's providing it, it's not always available, and sometimes you have to settle
which
with
is a
something else.
shame.
Yeah,
I know. I hate settling, but if you have to, you have to, don't you? So
yeah. So at the moment in time, or even back then, did you have like endorsement deals and stuff like that?
Back in the day, I had a Yamaha endorsement drums and a Pearl endorsement drums.
Oh, cool.
And I had Pace endorsement and Zildjian endorsement.
Oh, right.
Back in the day, yeah.
At the same time?
Yeah, at the same time.
How does that work?
Well, I don't know. Doug Smith, our manager, got me an endorsement with Pearl drums and Pace because I told him that's what I wanted. Yeah. But then he got me another endorsement with Yamaha and Zildjian, and I ended up using both lots at different gigs and stuff, you know.
Oh, that's definitely
and on TV shows as well.
Yeah, because you were on TV quite a lot because I was fishing through YouTube and there was lots of little features on you and interviews with the band and I guess shows that like the metal show I think I found you on. All things that before I was born, I think.
Shut your mouth.
Sorry. No, but yeah, it's great how much, because I think bands these days, there's less in the rock and metal world. There's not a lot of airtime for rock and metal bands on TV. Obviously online there's lots of things and avenues nowadays, YouTube and things like that. But to be on like a mainstream TV show, that's amazing. So that's a lot of exposure, which obviously helped with your success in the chart positions and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we were on a program called ETC, I think it was, or ECT, and I think I used my Yamaha kit on that show.
Yeah.
And then we did Top of the Pops, and they provided me with some load of crap, you know. You know, when you see us playing with Motorhead on Top of the Pops, that's not my kit.
Right, okay.
Yeah. They provided it, and also I was using rubber cymbals on that as well.
That's mad. I always wanted to try to see what those are like, because when we film music videos, that's the hardest thing, is to kind of get the volume of the cymbals down so you can hear the music being played and stuff.
you need rubber cymbals like they use on top of the pops.
Yeah.
That's what they used to use. Yeah.
There's probably a big bloody storage unit full of them somewhere.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know.
Probably.
No one needs them anymore. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Apologies for interrupting this episode of Drum for the Song. I really hope you're enjoying it so far. I just wanted to take a few moments to tell you about my Patreon page. This is a place where you can support the podcast in exchange for some bonus content. You can head over to patreon.com/drum for the song. There are 3 tiers available at the moment. One is £3 a month, one is £5 a month, and the other one is £10 a month. Each tier grants you access to exclusive benefits, which include bonus episodes, early access to the main episodes, private Facebook group membership, merch discounts, discount on Motorhead beer as well as a monthly competition to win Motorhead beer, access to Skype chats with me, asking my guests questions, occasional free gifts like drumsticks, free tickets to Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons shows, and your name in the episode description. If you regularly enjoy the podcast and think you would enjoy those benefits too, please consider signing up. If you didn't already know, I do everything for this podcast all by myself. So I do all the contacting, all the research, all the interviews, all the audio editing, all the video editing, all the artwork, all the uploading. I write all the descriptions, I build the website, everything is just me. So essentially the money from the subscriptions helps me keep a bit of time free during my weeks so I can continue making the podcast for you guys. So again, that's patreon.com/drum for the song. Check it out and enjoy the rest of the episode.
Drum for the Song podcast.
Any news on a new album coming up or anything like that?
We've just started writing now. The other girls in the band have started writing, and I'm not sure. Jackie got back to us the other day with all these different dates when we're going to go in and do it in Wales, by the way, where we usually go.
Oh, where do you usually go?
Llanelli with Tim Hamill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're doing it again with him because we love Tim and he's a great producer. So we're doing it again. And I think that's going to be some point this year, I hope.
Oh, exciting.
But if I'm not sure, so ask Giles.
Yeah. I was wondering how that worked, because don't some of the girls live abroad?
Tracy does, our bass player.
Right.
She lives in Spain, so she'll have to be flying backwards and forwards.
Yeah, it makes it a bit tricky now, because we've always been really local to each other, so it's been easy to do stuff like that. And just now, because our new singer lives in like Bristol way, it seems like he lives so far away, but it's not far away at all.
No, it's not
compared to what we're used to.
Yeah, I mean Tracy lives in Costa. I think it's the Costa del Sol. She lives.
Nice.
So it's just easy. Hop on a plane and fly over, fly back.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting, and we look forward to hearing that then. And obviously, you've got a vast back catalogue for anyone who wants to check out the music that maybe hasn't heard it yet. Have you got a particular favourite album you're most proud of?
What Girlschool album?
Yeah.
Well, I've always really loved Play Dirty. That's always been my favourite album out of all the Girlschool ones. But I also really like some of the Believe album and 21st Anniversary album as well. Those 3 really.
Okay, so they'd be good starting points for anyone who wants to delve into the.
Yeah, maybe, but that's just me. I mean, Play Dirty doesn't even sound like Girlschool. It sounds more like Def Leppard.
Cool.
That's probably why I like it so much.
Because some of the stuff I heard this week was like quite punky sounding. A lot of the older stuff, maybe.
Yeah, well, it was influenced by punk. That's why we're classed as new wave of British heavy metal.
Right.
Because we were part of that when the punk scene was happening, and then all these other bands started coming up. and some journalist named it New Wave of British Heavy Metal, and we were classed as that as well. So yeah.
So, I don't know if you're aware. There's a similar thing going on now. New wave of classic rock.
Oh
There's a
no!
new kind of genre that our band sometimes put in as well. So
Right, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's something to do with if your debut album came out after 2010 or something like that.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it's cool to
I
be a part of.
I love the Bastard Sons, by the way. I do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we get to play with each other someday. That would be great.
Yeah, it'd be great. Really good. Yeah, festival somewhere.
Well, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be amazing. We'll have to,
or a tour.
I think a lot of people would be happy with that.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sure we share quite a similar fan base with like the Motorhead kind of connection. I'm sure there's a lot of mutual fans that would like to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'd be loads of people at those gigs. You know, if Girlschool and Bastard Sons do gigs together, I think it would just be great. You know.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. So the other thing I thought was interesting, only because on a personal level, I want to know what happened. Your Facebook page got hacked. The band page got hacked.
Yes, really, really pissed me off. That did, really did.
It happened with my old band, Straight Lines, and we tried everything we can to get it back. We've even had people at Facebook trying to help us, and couldn't get it back. And so I think we've lost it now. So how did you get yours back in the end?
Well, apparently, Giles, our manager, he told me that it had something to do with the record company that we're with. You're with them too, aren't you? Same record company.
No, we were in the early days. Silver Lining or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Well, we're with them, and apparently it had something to do with a couple of people there kept on calling Facebook, I think, and they got it back. And I mean, loads of people have been saying, how did we get it back? But Giles says it's because of them. I don't know what the hell they did.
Well, I might have to give him a call.
You really should.
Yeah, it was really like my the old band, Straight Line, which was the band we played with you and Motorhead in, I don't know what year it was, 2012 or something. So the band I was in then, our Facebook page has been hacked, and it's been used for, well, first of all, they were streaming the video games on there, and then they were just putting clips from movies. It was just like a pointless page.
Yeah, same as ours. Ours was a farming page.
That's what I saw. Yeah, interesting.
Farming equipment. I mean, why? You know, that's weird.
And I don't understand why they have to hijack a page to do it. I don't know. But
because they're arseholes.
Arseholes, yeah, pretty much arseholes, yeah. Well, we might get it back one day, but I've kind of given up at the moment because.
Well, please get in touch with Giles, right?
All right.
He's the one who told me that it had something to do with our record company. They did it. They got it back.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Fantastic. Cool. Right. Have you got any tips for drummers listening to this?
Tips for drummers? No. Not really. Yeah, I mean, if there's young up-and-coming drummers, just keep going at it like I did, you know, no matter how old you are. And if you love doing it, just carry on doing it. Don't get disheartened by anything. You know, join a band, play, do whatever, learn how to play, you know, just carry on playing.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I think that's the best thing. If you enjoy it, just do it as much as possible. If it makes you happy.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you feel that you can't do anything else, that's what you want to do it. Just do it. Keep doing it.
Yeah. Good. And then going back to, like, we're in this new age now of like social media. I'm on all the social media sites, TikTok and Instagram and all this stuff. And because I've got my kind of drum account, I try and push it as a drum account to some degree. I keep seeing a lot of female drummers popping up, like more than you might realize there are. It's amazing how many there are now, and I know
I've got most of them on my pages on Facebook.
Yeah, so
it's brilliant, and I watch them play on YouTube or whatever, and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
it's just incredible. Some of them,
Yeah.
brilliant.
So I just think, as long as you realize you're one of the pioneers, and
Thanks.
you've led the way for the females in the rock music industry as well. You and the girls. So
I guess, yeah. Well,
thanks.
we have, of course, we have. Yeah.
Yeah. Even if you didn't intend on doing that, that's what's happened. And
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
thanks for doing that. And so before we
Welcome.
yeah before we wind down now, I've got some questions from my page. I've got a Patreon page, which is where people can subscribe, and one of the benefits of that is they get to ask my guests the questions. If you don't mind,
Well,
I got Jari from Finland. I know he's a big Motorhead fan and a Bastard Sons fan. He said, most hard-hitting woman in the music industry. That's what he said. And he's wondering, I guess this is a question for both of us, are there any plans to do some songs with Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons? We would love to hear some. Obviously, we've never discussed that, but it's a good idea.
What, me play with the Bastard Sons?
Well, I think he means like a collaboration.
Oh, I see. What, Girlschool and the Bastard Sons?
I'm assuming that's what he means, yeah.
Well, if that's what it means, I think that's a brilliant idea. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
The other thing I forgot to mention earlier, didn't you do a collaboration with someone else called Mr. Glitter?
Oh no! God, don't. You know what? Right, we never talk about it, us lot, ever. We try not to. And the weird thing is,
I didn't know.
We loved him. We all grew up with him.
Yeah.
And I used to buy the singles, all the Glitter singles I used to get for the drumming because he had two drummers. And I loved it all. I loved all that beat and everything.
Yeah.
And then we ended up touring with him, and I ended up having to play with them as well.
Oh wow.
I was on stage for about 2.5 hours because I did half an hour with Girls' School because we were supporting them, and then I had to go on again and be his second drummer.
Wow.
And do the whole Glitter show, and I loved it. It was just amazing. But then all that other shit happened,
we were not
with him.
Yeah.
That we don't like to mention, really.
Yeah.
And so I can't even post anything on Facebook. I dare not post anything with, No, it's not. No.
Yeah. It's still an amazing experience, and at the end of the day,
Oh yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Loved it. I loved playing with them. It was just brilliant. Really.
Yeah. Amazing. But yeah, Jari, you never know what's going to happen. It's a good idea. We've never done a collaboration ourselves yet, so maybe that could be an idea. And I got two questions from Paul Hutchins, and he always comes up with very good questions. So I'll read this out. Girls' School were pioneers for female bands in those early days. I still hear horror stories of female musicians being asked if they're there to support their boyfriends and being groped, etc. at gigs. It's not very nice. How does Denise see the heavy metal world today compared to 1980 for female musicians?
Well, back in the day, we never used to get groped there was the occasional fan used to shout, "Get 'em off," and that kind of thing to Kim, and she'd shout back, "You get 'em off," on stage. But we were always respected with other bands that we toured with, and fans seemed to respect us as well. So we never had any problems like that. And today we don't have any problems either. So things like that didn't seem to affect us. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, that's obviously a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, there are many stories of people, suffering,
sexual abuse.
And going through things like that. So, I guess.
Yeah, we never had anything like that.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. That's from your point of view. That's interesting. And then the question: life is too short for regrets, and Girls' School must have had some amazing memories. Is there anything that, with hindsight, is felt as a missed opportunity in the band's 40 years?
Trying to think. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Really? No. I mean, it's a hard question to answer just like that.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So
yeah.
I'd have to think about it for about a week and then let you know.
Yeah. But it sounded like you took as many opportunities as you could.
We did, yeah.
You
We
did.
went on tour with everyone under the sun back in the day. We toured with everyone: Black Sabbath,
Amazing.
Deep Purple, Blue Oyster Cult, Motorhead. Did loads of tours with Motorhead, which we loved, and I don't know. We just played, and Deep Purple. We toured 7.5 weeks with them in the States.
Oh wow.
Loved
That's
it.
the dream.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. And Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, we toured for I think 7 weeks in Europe back in the day with them, and Uri Heat, we toured with them all around the UK and possibly Europe. I can't remember because that was in the early days as well. So we toured with everyone under the sun, and we absolutely loved it. But there's still a few bands that I really, really do want to go on tour with.
Oh, go on. Name some of those bands then.
Well, I want to go on tour. I've always wanted to go on tour with AC/DC. I absolutely love them. I love AC/DC to this day, and I want to tour with them, but I doubt whether that'll ever happen. Who knows?
Who knows?
And who else? Oh God, that's probably it. AC/DC.
You've done everything else.
We toured with everyone.
Everyone else is still going anyway.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing, and it's not many people that can say that. You can list that amount of bands and artists that they've actually been on tour with, especially extensively.
And Nazareth.
Well.
Do you remember Nazareth?
Yeah, I
know. We toured with them.
Wow.
Yeah, and we've been on tour with everyone. I mean, honestly, everyone.
Wow.
Yeah,
incredible. Well, so when you're on tour, do you buddy up with the drummers, or do you get to know the drummers more than the rest of the band because you've got that different kind of knowledge? And
yeah, sometimes. I mean, occasionally you just get chatting, don't you, to a certain member of the band, and it happens to be the drummer. Yeah, so you get on better with him and all that kind of thing. But yeah, no, I really like it. I like talking to other drummers, and especially when they're your idol, like Ian Pace was mine. And,
I was going to say,
yeah, and Cozy Powell as well. So but it's just one of those things when you go on tour, you chat with other drummers. You should know that, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so I guess I haven't played with any. Well, I've played with some good bands, and like I was going to say, Nigel from Saxon, he's one of my favorite.
Oh yeah, Nigel's a great drummer.
Yeah,
and
really
nice guy.
He's been on the show. Russell Gilbrook from Uriah Heep's been on the show. He seemed like a lovely guy. I've never met him in person yet, but we had a great time on recording the episode.
We don't really know Russell that well either, because when we toured with them back in the 80s, they had Chris Slade on drums.
Oh wow, there you go.
So he was the drummer with Heap at that time in the 80s when we did that long tour with them.
Wow.
And he was a fantastic drummer, Chris Slade. You know.
Yeah. But he's still going. He's still got his
I know. I've
Chris
seen
Slade timeline. So
right, yeah.
I've been.
But there's so many drummers. Yeah, you should. He's great. He's a really nice guy.
But bonus. Did you know he apparently used to babysit my dad?
Hey, who did?
Chris Slade. he's from my hometown.
Right.
I guess he's maybe 10 years older than my dad. And apparently he used to babysit my dad.
No way, that's hilarious.
I know. And then he was in AC/DC and all the other bands he was in. Crazy.
Yeah.
He's one of the drummers I'd love to get on, and it's difficult, to kind of find when people are available, and with the whole technology side of it, it makes it easier for some, but makes it more difficult for others, I think.
I tell you what, right? You should talk to my brother as well, actually, because he still drums and he writes horror music. That's what he does, and he lives in Japan now.
Wow.
I really think you should have a chat with him as well.
Definitely, I'm up for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
Hook me up.
I will, definitely.
That'd be cool.
No, you two are getting really well, and he's a really good drummer, my brother, as well. I mean, really good.
Yeah. It was only yesterday I found out that your brother was a drummer. I was watching some other interview with you guys from the 80s, or whatever, and you mentioned that's why you ended up playing the drums. So
yeah, I always mention him because he is the one influence. He's the one. It's because of him that I'm a drummer. So
yeah,
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
So now we get into the quick fire round that I do. I've changed this slightly recently, so I just spout out a load of questions. You've got to answer as quick as possible and as truthfully as possible, just so the listeners can get to know you a bit better.
Right.
So, are you ready for this? Yeah.
Yeah. Go on then.
Okay.
Hang on a minute. Let me have a drink.
Have a drink. Yeah, have a drink.
Yeah. Okay then.
It's hard talking for so long, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really hard.
It is.
What would you? Okay. Favorite food?
Curry.
Me too. Favorite movie?
Oh God. Endgame, actually. Endgame. Marvel's Endgame.
I haven't seen it, but I will.
It's really. It's one of my faves. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check that out. Guitar or bass?
Bass.
Me too.
Yeah.
Nylon or wood tip drumsticks?
Wood tip.
Cool. John Bonham or Neil Peart?
I'm more of a John Bonham type, but I love Neil Peart as well.
Yeah, both amazing. Absolutely. Beatles or Rolling Stones?
Beatles for me. Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I love them. Big or small venue?
Small. It's more cozy, and I don't get as nervous.
Good point. Yeah, I know what you mean. It does make a difference on the nerves.
Yep.
Yeah, it's normally a lot hotter.
It is too hot. Yeah, that's the downside. I always have to have a fan next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite time signature to play?
God. I don't know. Time signature. I don't know.
I think from what I've heard, most of the girls' school songs are in 4/4. Maybe not all of them. Most of them seem.
Well then 4/4 it is then.
Okay,
I can't think of anything really.
No, that's all right. Yeah. Favorite rhythm section ever? Like a guitar, like bassist and guitarist. No, sorry, bassist and drummer.
In any of all time?
Yeah.
I would say Roger Glover and Ian Pace.
Nice, yeah, fair enough.
That's who I absolutely think they're brilliant together. Those two.
They are very good. Name an underrated band.
Underrated. Wow. God, that's a big one. No idea. No idea at all. No, sorry, no.
Okay, no worries. Favorite album of all time?
Oh wow. Favorite album? For me, the favorite album of all time is Machine Head by Deep Purple.
It is very good.
yeah, definitely.
And I'm going to guess. The answer to the next question. Favorite drummer of all time? Is it Ian Pace by any chance?
Ian Pace, and Ian Pace.
Yeah. Hey, do you know how well do you know Ian? I'd love to get him on one day, but
I don't. We don't know him that well, but we've toured with him on a couple of occasions and done gigs. We just really know him to say hi and how's it going, blah blah blah. But we don't know him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you know WhatsApping him every day and stuff like that.
Oh no.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, great. No, it's amazing. Yeah, one day I'm sure I'll try and get him on. Ian, if you're listening, if you come across this podcast somehow, please come on the show. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, come on the show. Get on the show.
It'd be fantastic. It'd be fantastic. Right, and to end, like this is the question I ask all of my guests. So, if you could create your own dream band with yourself playing the drums, with any musicians, dead or alive, from any bands that you've ever listened to in your life, but not members of Girls' School, who would be playing the other instruments?
Well, either Roger Glover on bass or Neil Murray, actually, because Neil Murray's great, a really good bass player. Do you know Neil?
I don't know him, no.
But you know of him, though,
Oh, yeah.
right? Yeah, well, he's a really good bass player, but Roger Glover, who else? Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper. You be singing.
Definitely have him there. Who else? Guitarist. Richie Blackmore, probably, on guitar.
Yeah.
But either him or Black Sabbath guy. Oh, shit. Tony Iommi. Yeah, him. So, super group. I don't know. I've never thought about it. Really.
2 guitarists, 2 bassists. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Drums. Well, you need 2 bassists to keep up with you on the drums.
Yeah, right.
So to overpower you. And Alice Cooper, that'd be great. That's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Very cool. All males.
Yeah. Well, I can't.
Why not?
Yeah, actually, I never thought about females.
Right, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, does it? That's the problem.
It doesn't matter as long as as long as they can play.
That's right. Exactly. It doesn't matter. And, I think that's the whole point that we've been trying to make. It doesn't matter. Yeah, cool. I've really enjoyed this. I hope you have as well.
Oh yeah, I've loved it, Dane. Thanks very much for inviting me.
Oh, absolutely. No worries. And I'm looking forward to hopefully coming across you at a festival or a gig or someday, and looking forward to the new album. Obviously whenever it does come out, I'll make sure I try and promote it for you as much as I can.
Well, just get in touch with Giles and find out everything from him,
Yeah, all good. But hopefully the rest of your house hasn't fallen down from the storm. It looks all right.
The house is looking like a crap hole at the moment, what you can see behind me, but the garden is still blowing out there, but it's died down a little bit, but it's still going for it.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Watch this place. No, but great. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, Dane, and thanks a lot. And when is this? Is this live or what?
Oh, it's not live. No. I'll let you know when it's coming out. Yeah. Whew.
Okay.
Work. I need to do a lot of work before it goes out. So,
good. Okay, good.
Yeah, lovely to catch up anyway, and I'll be in touch soon to let you know about the release and all that. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay, and give my love to your dad and your brothers and everybody else I know that know me. Whatever.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Say to you. No, great.
All right.
And say to the girls as well.
Will do. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. You take care then.
Bye.
See you later. Bye. I can't seem to hang up.
Drum for the Song Podcast.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Drum for the Song Podcast. If you've enjoyed this, please consider liking the video and subscribing if you're watching on YouTube, or subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcasts. If you could leave me a review or comment, that would be fantastic too, as it helps other people discover this show. Please also consider sharing this with any family members or friends who might enjoy the content. You can also follow me on social media at Dane_drums or at Drum for the Song, or search for Drum for the Song on Facebook to follow the page and join the official Facebook group. If you'd like to support the podcast, you could purchase some merchandise from drumforthesong.com, or consider supporting me via Patreon from just £3 per month for additional exclusive content like bonus episodes, video calls with myself, competitions, discounts, and much more. Any additional support is always greatly appreciated, but I would like to give extra special thanks to my top tier Groove Master patrons, whose names are listed in the description below. My name is Dane Campbell, and thanks so much for watching or listening this far. If you're a drummer, don't forget to drum for the song.